Hold on. Getting into position. It's raining if you can't tell. Hopefully my shirt doesn't look funny on this lighting. We'll go a little colder so you can see the contrast. Yeah, it's necessary because then I'm gonna blend in. But I'm wearing a striped shirt, it's red. It's raining. If you hear the sound of the rain, it's raining. But hi, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be about divine timing. And let me look that up actually if I'm using the right terming. The terming, right term. Mm-hmm. 100%. I just like to double check my work to make sure I'm saying the right thing, because I have that habit of like thinking I'm saying the right term and I'm not, and then I sound silly. But today's topic is divine timing. Am I recording? Yes, okay. Now, again, let me preface this. I love to make these types of videos, not only for myself, but mainly for myself. And if it helps anyone along the way, I am very grateful that it does. But I just like to share my experiences and things that I've gone through and things that I go through in my day-to-day life, week by week. You know, if something pops up this week and I'm like, hey, that's a good video topic, or if I remember something from like my teenage childhood era and I'm like, okay, it's a good video. But this isn't like me telling you what to do or how to believe or how to think or how to anything. This is just me sharing my stories and things like that. So basically what divine timing is, there's so many definitions out there, so don't like, how do I say, this is my take on it. I have my notes like always. So basically, from what I understand, divine timing, I'm Catholic, very faithful, very into the understanding of the universe, and it's just how it's all created and how I have a special part in this. Religion, I have a video up on, I should make a playlist of all my videos. I have a video about like religion and the kind of things, how I grew up with my relationship with my religion. So as I got older, when I got married, I kind of fell back into like understanding and really seeing it through my lens versus like a teacher from catechism, you know, like, and what they're supposed to be teaching, you know. But I think timing is everything. Like that one Julian song where he's like, timing is everything. He's so right. Timing, the way things happen are automatically perfect. God makes everything perfect. The universe makes everything perfect. Whatever you believe in is perfect just the way it is. The way you perceive it is just kind of how, like, you can see it unperfect, you could see it fucked up, you could see it annoying, you could see it however you want to see it. But it is perfect already. The timing is perfect. The way things are happening is perfect. Let me explain this thought that I had, I think yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I was at my usual favorite spot, Home Goods, and I saw two young moms, young like my age, and they had their babies in their little carriers. And obviously I think so many women, young girls, teenage girls, I've had this internal struggle my whole life where I'm like, my mom was a young mom. I originally wanted to be a young mom. It did not happen for me. And it's just, I feel in my heart it's not time yet. But seeing that, I was like, oh my gosh, am I running out of time? I'm going to be 29 in a few weeks. Sorry, in a week. And I'm like, people, how do I say, like scientists, whatever, like will tell you your biological clock, you're this. You have people telling you so-and-so had a baby, and they'll just look at you like this. Especially after getting married, they'll just be like, I don't know, like, it just, it hasn't happened yet. And I'm this is where I'm getting at. I'm a firm believer in God's timing is perfect. The universe timing is perfect. Everything that is meant to happen the way it's going to happen is happening exactly how it needs to happen. I hope that makes sense to you. So again, back to like me being at Home Goods, and I saw them and I was like, oh shit, they were talking about like breastfeeding and all this stuff, you know, like moms do. And I was like, oh, good for them. But then like deep down I got that like, shit, like am I gonna, I don't know, I wasn't actively thinking about this, and now I'm like, oh my gosh. But and then I sat with myself like, okay, I mean, growing up I'm like, I don't want kids, it hurts. Yes, that's my first thought. It sounds extremely painful. It sounds very scary. It sounds something like I don't want to do. But then deep down inside, I'm like, what if, I don't know, like maybe I do kind of want one. I'm not sure. Here is my explanation as to why I think everything is perfect and everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. Trusting and having faith and believing is the main piece of the recipe. Everything in my life is meant to be the exact way it's supposed to be. All the lives I've lived, because I feel like I've lived a lot of lives. I've done a lot of things. I've done so many things, and I regret none of them. Because I know those little pieces were meant to be like little puzzle pieces of my life. The way my parents met, you can't like make that stuff up. The way it happened was just so, like, you can't make that shit up. Like, they met, I'll give you the brief story. They met at school. He was a grade above her, and my mom is literally me, because she was like, she saw him and she was like, I'm going to marry that man. My dad was like, also like me, had so many girlfriends. I mean, I had a lot of boyfriends, and I was just everywhere, you know, because I don't know, that's just my personality. So my mom, you know, like, she worked her magic, and then they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but you know, the drama, the whatever, my mom got pregnant. After so many years of them being together, they weren't planning to be pregnant, but you know, surprise, it happened. And like, I deep down, long story short, I feel like that was like the universe telling them like, oh, well, you're bound to this person. Because my dad could have easily dipped. My mom could have easily aborted me, and it would have been done. But the way that everything happened, and the way that they just like, you know, kept going with whatever their gut told them to do, here I am. My mom, you know, did the most amazing job with raising me, as well as my dad, you know. And they created this beautiful family, showed me like a good example of what, you know, a couple should be like, married couple. And don't get me wrong, we're all human, we make mistakes, call them what you will. Mistakes are just like, I guess, lessons you need to learn. Because, you know, growing up as a teenager, young adult, I would think like, well, you know, I messed up everything. If I wasn't born, my mom could have been this, my dad could have been that. But it all, again, goes back to the universe, God's timing. It all just planned out perfectly. I was born, years pass, I'm 21. I go to this party extremely far away. Again, like I said, my story of me meeting my husband is another beautiful example of God's timing. Everything happens because it's supposed to happen. And everything is perfect how it's happening. And once you kind of, even in the fricked up, I don't know how many times I could say the F word, I'm sorry, messed up situations, it's still meant to happen. And that's the one where I'm still kind of like, okay, dissecting and trying to figure out myself. because, you know, like I've said in videos before, I've had situations, yes, okay, I'm getting to that part, where I'm like, I really don't think that should have happened, but, you know, it did happen anyways. If you really dissect it and realize, like, okay, I was in a really shitty relationship with my ex-boyfriend, but if I wouldn't have been in that shitty relationship, gone against my mom's rules, you know, she was like, do not see him anymore. I still saw him. But the last time I saw him, he took me to a party where I met my husband. Like I said, everything happens specifically for a reason. And that, I think, is divine timing. And it's just so magical once you kind of like understand it and kind of take your time and chew on all these things that happen, and, you know, even your tiny little day-to-day things. Like, I had a headache today. I've had a headache. I could sit around and complain and, like, you know, be grouchy about it, or I could, like, okay, look, excuse me, sorry, this is happening for a reason, whatever. I might have hurt myself at the gym, tension, jaw pain, whatever. I'll take it as a sign to chill out, lay in bed, relax. I have the, you know, the time right now to do that. You kind of like mellow out, chill out, and live a happier life, if, you know, if you're catching my drift. So that's my quick little video on divine timing. Was there anything else I wanted to say? Oh, totally, yes, I totally forgot. Alignment matters. Like a car. One time, I think it was my current car that I had when I first got it, the alignment was a little off. What car did I have? It might have been like my first car. The alignment was really off and you had to hold it sideways to be straight, you know? So emotionally, it all kind of goes in like to thoughts, feelings, actions. This is my dad's words and not mine. So if you get your feelings right, you'll get your thoughts right. Thoughts, feelings, actions. If you get your mind right by saying, sorry, I'm a little bit, have to think really hard, forgive me. If you get your mind right, thoughts, feelings, you'll feel right. Actions, you'll continue to put out good things and do things in the right way. You get me? So thoughts, feelings, actions. So get your mind right first. You'll feel better. And you'll do better. And what else? In order to like continue the cycle of goodness and understanding the rules of the laws of the land, of divine timing of the universe, you kind of gotta like, okay. And again, my disclaimer, you could do whatever you want. You could continue to see, and I know it's like sometimes you gotta get pissed off, you gotta get mad. You have to go through that in order to get to this point. So do what you need to do, feel what you need to feel, and then, you know, nothing you do is wrong. Just remember that. But I'll leave you with that. Thoughts, feelings, actions. Think, feel, do better. I hope I said that correctly. And if I'm rewatching this and editing it and you're like, girl, you said it backwards, jump in now. Okay? If you said it correctly, good for you. Yeah. That's all I gotta say for this video. Enjoy the rain. I just did my eyebrows. Can we appreciate that? That's all. I did a really good job this time. I took advantage when the sun was out because they really needed to be done. Last plug, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my new channel, Too Much on Your Plate. I have a new video where I made banana bread coming up soon, but I just dropped a cookie video. It's really good. So go check it out. Okay, see you next week. The vlog will be next. I gotta continue vlogging because I low-key don't think I vlogged enough. Bye.